everyone, we are back with another QCard discussion. I'm Richard Caroline and today we have Grace Ocean with us. So today we are going to discuss a case note about bedwetting, right?
Yes.
So we're going to talk to the mother of a 7-year-old and he has bedwetting and she is really embarrassed and worried about it because...
I think this is a rare topic, so they will have many things to learn from this.
Yes, bedwetting is not a very common topic that we normally get for the speaking sessions. So I hope this is going to be new information for you guys. I will play the part of the nurse and Grace will be handling the part of the mother. So let's see how it goes.
Your time starts now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please be seated.
Thanks.
I'm the registered nurse working in this community health center. You can call me Rachel.
Okay.
How can I help you today?
See, my 7 years old child started wetting the bed, and I'm really concerned about it. Moreover, it is affecting his school life.
Oh, I do understand that there are certain worries you have about your son's bedwetting and you have a lot of questions about that too, right?
Yes.
But don't worry, you have reached the right place. I can help you with information.
Thank you.
So before we proceed further, could you please help me with your son's name and age?
Yes, he's Jimmy and 7 years old.
He's 7 years. All right. And could you also help me with your name?
Yes, I'm Grace.
All right, Grace. So I would require some information about his bedwetting nature. So is that okay with you?
That's fine.
So when did it start exactly? You mentioned 3 weeks ago. So do you remember when exactly?
Yes, it is 3 months ago.
3 months ago. All right. And do you have any family history of bedwetting?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing that you're aware of?
At this age.
All right, okay, I get it. And I would also like to check with you whether you have tried any sort of home remedies at home.
Yes, I tried many things like giving, not to give him fluids before the bed, as well as waking him up in between his sleep at night, but nothing works.
I do understand that as a mother you're really worried about his bedwetting nature, given that he's a 7-year-old and it might be embarrassing too. But you know, I would like to tell you, not giving him fluid before bed is all right. That's a good thing to do. However, waking him at the middle of his sleep is not a wise thing to do because it can alter his sleep pattern and that might not be a wise option as well.
Okay.
Instead, I can suggest you ways that can be helpful to bring down the bedwetting of your child. Will that be okay?
Yes, I would like to hear that.
Sure. So what you're doing right now is good. You're not providing any fluid before he go to bed, right? So please make sure that he avoids drinking water before going to bed, and you can maybe arrange a time slot or something like that when he's thirsty. You can provide him water whenever he require, but make sure that he's not drinking anything before he goes to bed.
All right.
And you can use something known as a bedwetting alarm, all right? And you can also train him to use the bathroom before bedtime.
Okay.
So if you follow all these things, we can actually reduce the number of times he bedwet, and eventually it will also completely eliminate it. Okay. So do you have any questions?
Yes, you said me something about bedwetting alarms. Can you please tell me in detail regarding that?
Absolutely, I'll explain that to you. So bedwetting alarm is an alarm which is available for hire, okay? And in this alarm, there will be a sensor which is attached to the pajamas of your son.
Okay.
And alarm goes on when there is urination.
Oh, I
So
see.
it will wake up the child as well as alert the parent.
Okay.
Okay, so it will suddenly stop him from urinating.
All
So
right.
whenever he has it on him and whenever he is urinating, this alarm goes on. So suddenly he will stop it.
All
okay,
right.
so it is a very effective measure that can be used to completely stop bedwetting.
All right.
All right. So I hope you are clear with all these ways.
Yes, all those explanations were really good, and I think it will be helpful. But I'm also concerned about his school life because he's really embarrassed to go in front of his friends because they teases him.
I do understand it might be very difficult for a 7-year-old because all these people might be embarrassing him. But what you can do to help your child is to provide a lot of emotional support. What he requires is not scolding. What he requires is someone to tell him that that's okay and you can together resolve it. Okay. So make sure that you're not scolding him.
Okay.
Instead, you educate him about bedwetting and how can you stop it and provide proper training for him. Okay. So that's what you can do.
Sure.
And in order to provide training for him, we can also help you from our end too. So if you require any assistance about how to train your child to stop bedwetting, you can approach us and we will be happy to help you with that.
Okay.
So I hope I have clarified all the information, all the concerns of you. So do you have anything else to ask me?
Nothing more.
Alright, so well, in that case, I hope you're clear with everything. So once again, do not worry about your child. This is something that can be resolved. Please make sure that you follow all the instructions.
Okay.
And in case if you don't notice any changes, you can come back again and we can think of some alternative ways.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
So that's the end of our cue card, and bedwetting is a very unusual topic, and we normally don't get any topic like bedwetting. So in this case, we saw a very concerned mother who is really worried and embarrassed about the bedwetting nature of her son, and we've seen that the nurse was trying to tell her this is nothing to be embarrassed about, and she can try some ways to help her child to not to bedwet. So I hope it was clear for you guys. So in such cases, we need to provide emotional support, right? What do you think about it?
Yes, correct. There were many reassurance and supporting.
Yes,
everything.
Emotionally supporting statements too. So you need to make sure that you're always engaged with the mother and tell her this is nothing to be embarrassed about. It's a main topic, main thing that we have to focus. And then again, you can use the good statements by connecting all the bullet points given in the cue card too. So I hope this was a very helpful case note for you guys.
Yes, and moreover, it was a very unusual topic, so I think this will be really helpful for everyone.
Yes. So you can post your valuable comments and feedback in the comment section, and straight after this role play, there will be a feedback session where you can learn about how to create statements in an easier way. So Grace and I will be coming back very soon with another role play. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to the feedback session. My name is Richa Caroline. So we just watched a video where we were talking to a mother who's concerned about a 7-year-old boy who has bedwetting, and we saw how the nurse was confronting all the questions from the mother's side and was giving all the answers and giving measures how to resolve this problem as well. So let's see how we can tackle each task right now. So I'll be really taking you through each task, and I'll show you how we can construct a statement for each of them too, because all the organization and the structural flow of the conversation was shown in the video, so you can refer to that. And in this particular segment, I'm going to take you through how to construct the statement. So let's get started. Alright guys, so this is a cue card, and you can see our setting, which is given as the community health center, and there is a very short yet brief background information which says you're talking to the mother of a 7-year-old boy who has been wetting the bed for a while now. The mother is embarrassed and worried about the situation. And the first task says, greet with warm greetings and ask for the reason for the visit. So you can identify whether this situation is a known case or an unknown case just by reading these 3 points. And by 3 points, I mean the setting, the background information, and our task number 1. So this is an unknown case where we do not have any previous conversation with this mother. So let's see how we can have an opening statement here. You can start like this. Good morning, I am the registered nurse on duty. Please call me Richa. How can I be of help to you today? So this is just one way of doing this. And you guys know that there are a lot of different ways of doing it, as there is no particular script for OET speaking. So just make sure that you have all the points included, no matter what type of sentence that you're preparing. So just make sure it is professional and a very good pleasing introduction too. So this is the one which I have selected here. You can say, good morning, I'm the registered nurse on duty. Please call me Richa. How can I be of help to you today? So instead of asking how can I be of help to you today, you can even try asking the same question here. May I know the reason for the visit? Or you can simply ask, how can I help you? Okay, so it's up to your flexibility. Try to use a very convenient statement for you. And let's see task number 2. Consult the parent and offer to help. Collect more information. Onset, family history of bedwetting, home remedies. So as I told you, I'm just taking you through how to construct the statements. I'm not explaining the flow of conversation or the sequential order of the conversation here, because it was explained in the video. So this particular segment is just to show you how you can construct the statement for the given task. So here we can see we have to consult the parent and we have to offer to help. And then we have to collect more information, and these are the questions that we have to ask. So let's see how we can consult the parent here. This is something that I have used. I do understand that you're worried regarding your son's bedwetting nature, and you have a lot of questions about it too. But don't worry, you have reached the right place. I can help you with all the information. You see that? We are consoling the parent till here. Okay, and after that, just by using this simple statement, I can help you with all the information. We are doing this segment of task number 2, offer to help. Moving on, we have to signpost, because the next segment of task number 2 is to collect more information, and it is a shift in topic from the previous conversation that you had. From offering help to collecting information, you are having a change in topic. So you have to indicate that by using a signposting statement like this, something like this, okay? So the statement that I have used here is, before we get into further discussion, I would like to ask you some questions. Is that okay? Instead of this, you can even try the statements like, before proceeding further, I would like to ask you some questions, or moving on, I would like to ask you some questions, or you can say, prior to moving forward, if you don't mind, can I ask you some questions? So there are different ways of signposting. As I told you a little earlier, try to use a statement which you are very confident with. The first question is onset, and this is a very simple question that you can use to gather information about the onset. When did it start? Or since how long your son has been experiencing this problem? Any of these is fine. Next one is family history of bedwetting. You can ask a question like this. Do you have a family history of bedwetting? Or is anyone in your family has this problem? Something like that. You can use different questions there. The next one is about home remedies. Have you tried any home remedies? Simple as that. So by that, you will finish task number 2. And remember that you give the summary after this too. Moving on to task number 3. Tell the mother it is not advisable to wake up the child while he is sleeping. Disruptive sleep pattern. Suggest ways to control bedwetting. Monitor fluid intake. No fluid intake before going to bed. Bedwetting alarm. Check whether the parent has any more concerns. Little lengthier one, but don't worry, we can break it down and I'll show you a very simple statement that you can cover all these points there, okay? So let's see the statement. I would like to bring it to your attention that waking him up in the middle of the night is not an effective way to handle his bedwetting nature. So I'd like to take you guys through the statement once again. I would like to bring it to your attention that instead of saying I would like to explain or I would like to discuss, this shows your higher level of proficiency. So if you are comfortable using this, then feel free to do that. I would like to bring it to your attention that waking him up in the middle of the night is not an effective way to handle his bedwetting nature. It will only create a disruptive sleeping pattern. Instead, regulating his water intake can make a huge difference. I see that you are already doing it. However, I would like to explain some effective measures to resolve the situation. May I? So this is a very good statement that you guys can follow. Moving on, you're also saying, as mentioned earlier, please monitor his fluid intake and ensure he is not drinking any fluids right before bedtime. This point, no fluid intake before going to bed. That is a point which has been elaborated here. And the reason why I have used as mentioned earlier is because when you ask, have you tried any home remedies to the mother would say something like, yes, I don't allow him to drink any water or juices right before his bedtime. And I wake him up during his sleep to have different intervals. So the mother is telling you certain things that she has been doing so far. So based on that, you are doing task number 3. So since this information was already told to you, you're using this particular usage as mentioned earlier. The next point you can say, you can also attach a bedwetting alarm which will alert your son and you during bedwetting. Do you have any questions about what we have discussed so far? So instead of always asking the question, do you have any concerns? This will be more precise and little more constructed question. Okay, so try to use different ways to elicit information from the patient or from the parent here. We have to try to understand whether the parent or the patient is understanding what you are saying. So in this particular case, we are talking to the parent, and in general cases, we'll be talking to the patient. So try to gather more information about how the patient is feeling or whether they have any concerns, or try to know their opinions, because you have a score for that which comes under information gathering. So try to ask questions like this. Do you have any questions about what we have discussed so far? This is a replacement for do you have any concerns? So that is task number 3. Let's move on to task number 4. Explain the usage of bedwetting alarm available to hire sensor attached to the pajamas. So we are going to explain how to use it. So this is a very simple statement that you can use. I'll definitely explain that to you. Bedwetting alarm is a very helpful product with a sensor which can be attached to the pajamas. It will alert you if he passes urine while sleeping. How does that sound to you? A very simple explanation. Okay? And the next one is task number 5. Encourage the parent not to scold the child, provide emotional support and training for the child. This is a pretty tricky part, and I've seen that most of the candidates, while they get a task to encourage the patient or provide emotional support, they find it difficult to frame statements or come up with the right suitable words. The choice of words has been, it is a little bit tricky for most of the students. So this is an example of how you can provide emotional support. Okay, so we will read the statement together. I do understand that it is worrying you so much. There is nothing to be ashamed about. This is quite common and can be easily resolved. Please remember that it is not your child's fault. So do not scold him for wetting the bed. Instead, offer to help him. It can be emotionally daunting for your son also. Therefore, educate him about it and train him to drink water and urinate on a timely basis. If you need any further help about it, feel free to contact us. See, it has been beautifully explained. And if you have noted, I have not used any very difficult or advanced level of vocabulary here. These are very simple statements that you can also follow. So we'll read that one more time. I do understand that it is worrying you so much. There is nothing to be ashamed about. This is quite common and can be easily resolved. Please remember that it's not your child's fault. Do not scold him for wetting the bed. Instead, offer to help him. It can be emotionally daunting for your son also. Therefore, educate him about it and train him to drink water and urinate on a timely basis. If you need any further help about it, feel free to contact us. Okay, so this is a way in which you can provide emotional support to the parent. So these are the different statements or one way of constructing the statements for each task given in this particular cue card. And I hope this is clear for you guys. So in the feedback session, I have not taken you through the entire sequential flow of the conversation. Instead, I have explained each task and how to construct a statement for that particular task. So for a reference of how to move from one task to another and where to acknowledge or where to address the concern of the patient or where to reassure the patient, you can refer to the demo video and you'll get more idea from that. So I hope this was clear for you guys, and I'll come back with another video very soon. Until then, take care. Happy learning with IILT. Bye-bye.
IILT, it's my cup of tea.